Now, we are thinking of happiness like it's some kind of a commodity or some kind of an attainment. No, when your life comes to ease, when you come to ease, happiness is a natural consequence. Coming to ease, what does it mean? There are many ways to look at this. Well, because I should not say look inward, you already put a condition on me. So, is it true that today, even medically we know, every human experience has a chemical basis to it? So what you call as peace is one kind of chemistry, happiness is another kind of chemistry, joy is another kind of chemistry, misery is another kind of chemistry, agony is one kind of chemistry, ecstasy is another kind of chemistry. Every human experience has a chemical base. Or in other words, you are a very complex chemical soup. The question is only, are you a great soup or a lousy soup? If you're a great soup, you taste good, not for somebody, for yourself. When you taste very good for yourself, if you sit here, if you feel extremely pleasant within yourself because the soup is great, then people say you are happy. If you become very, very pleasant, people will say you're joyful. If you become super pleasant, people will say you're ecstatic. So, to make it very simple and understandable for most people, your chemistry needs to be altered. There's a whole technology with which we can create the kind of chemistry that you want. If I teach you how to create a blissful chemistry within yourself, your very chemistry is blissful and you will be blissful. When you're blissful, you will no more be in pursuit of happiness. That is the biggest mistake, that we are in pursuit of happiness. Your life has to become an expression of joy. When your life is an expression of your experience, then what you do not do will not determine the quality of your life. How you are within yourself will determine the quality of your life. I'm sorry, once again I use the word within, but chemistry is not within, it is still outside of you. But if you know how to make the right soup, then being joyful is not an issue, it's a natural consequence of that. So, we can teach you a technology, we can teach you a methodology with which you will know how to stir the right kind of soup within you. This is what I'm calling as inner engineering, that you engineer your chemistry in such a way that it's blissful by its own nature, not because of some… If you think you're going to squeeze happiness out of something or somebody, you will be disappointed because nothing will yield anything unless you have a chemistry of blissfulness within you.
I want to ask you a very simplistic question, but it's something that evades everybody. How does one manage to find happiness?
Oh.
It's a really simple question. But no one today is happy.
Where do you see that?
Yeah,
Do I look unhappy?
You don't. So many people around us are just not, or they're not be able to be happy for other people or just with what they have necessarily. They're always looking for the next goal, purpose, something. It could be material vindication, it could be experiential, anything.
One simple thing is, every human experience has a chemical basis to it.
Okay.
What you call as peace is one kind of chemistry, what you call as happiness or joy is another kind of chemistry, ecstasy is one kind of chemistry, agony is another kind of chemistry, anxiety another kind of chemistry, stress another kind of chemistry. All levels of pleasantness and unpleasantness is rooted in a certain chemical background within you.
Okay.
Or in other words, what you call as this is a certain chemical soup. The question is only, are you a great soup or a lousy soup?
Okay.
Now, if I give soup making ingredients to 10 different people, the same ingredients, 10 people will not produce the same soup.
True.
10 soups will taste in 10 different ways, though the ingredients are same. Similarly, all of us are made with the same ingredients.
Right.
But see in how many different ways we made ourselves. So it's time to pay attention to soup making, that this is a great soup, this is not a lousy soup.
Okay.
If you establish a chemistry of blissfulness,
Right.
that's how you will be. This is what we're teaching people. We are not advising people to be happy or peaceful. We are teaching them how to engineer your chemistry the way you want it.
Okay.
You create a chemistry of blissfulness, then why are you bothered about being happy? That's how it'll be.
In fact, Sadhguru, you've in fact created an organization where there is a lot of, people are volunteering, they're happy. There's a very positive vibe and culture, for instance. How have you managed to create such an organization?
Wonderful people around me. Wherever I go, whichever part of the world I am in, not a single day passes for me
Right.
without witnessing tears of joy and love around me. Every day, somebody will be shedding tears of love and joy. I don't think there's a better way to live in this world. And all of us should strive to create our own circles of joyfulness and pleasantness around us. Because if you are not joyful by your own nature, if you're always going around with the fear of suffering, as long as fear of suffering is there within you, you will never walk your life with full stride. It'll always be half a step. Most human beings have crippled themselves simply because of fear of suffering. What will happen to me is always the question. Whatever happens, this is how I will be. If this assurance comes to you, only now you will want to scale the peaks of life and see what about it. If it happens, makes no difference to you. If it doesn't happen, makes no difference to you. That's when you would like to really explore every dimension of life. So first and foremost thing is this, that your way of being is not determined by what's around you. If you bring this one aspect to you, there is no fear of suffering. Once there is no fear of suffering, you will traverse the breadth and length of this life without hesitation. So, this breath, or what conducts the breath in yoga, we call this the Koorma Nadi. You know what's a Koorma? Not Kurma, Koor. No, I saw some tongues. Koorma means a turtle or a tortoise, an amphibious creature. It's in the water, but it can also venture out. So, you can become an amphibious creature if you master this Koorma Nadi. That means you're in the body, but you can be little outside the physical nature, because this is your desire. Your desire is not to leave the physical for good. You want to be rooted in the physical, but you want to have a taste of what is beyond. This is human desire always. In trying to see everything that you're doing, please look at this. Whether you are going out to conquer the world, you get married, you bear children, you do this, you drink, you go to temple, you drug, you do whatever the hell you want. Essentially, all that you're looking for is, you want a bigger experience of life, isn't it? Yes or no? The only way your life's experience can be enhanced is by expanding your perception. If your eyes can see something that it cannot see right now, your experience is enhanced. If your ears can hear something that you cannot hear something right now, your experience is enhanced. In like this, if your perception is enhanced, only then your experience is enhanced. Otherwise, you're only going on imagining things within the limited data that you have already gathered. Yes? The only way to enhance is to expand or to come out. So Koorma Nadi, this breath is referred to as Koorma Nadi because if you use it properly, you can become like an amphibious creature, that you can be in the body but you can venture outside. This is like a rope. Let's say we pull out your breath right now. If I take away your breath, what will happen? You and your body will fall apart. Right now in your experience, you are the body sitting here, but this rice and Chintataku and Gomakura, everything is gathered up here and sitting here, yes or no? Yes. It's food that you've eaten. Is this an accumulation? Do you understand this is an accumulation? What you accumulate can be yours, can never ever be you, isn't it? Yes? I can say, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. But if I say, this is me, this is me, this is me, lost it, isn't it? Whatever you accumulate can be yours, can never ever be you. So the moment if I pull the breath away, then you and what you have gathered will fall apart. You and your body will fall apart. Or in other words, it's the breath or the Koorma Nadi which ties you and your body together. When we say Koorma Nadi, we are not just talking about the passage of air. Right now you're incapable of experiencing the breath in the sense, see right now if you watch, you think you're watching the breath, no. You're only noticing the sensations caused by the passage of breath. You're not capable of knowing the breath itself. So the breath or what sets up this pattern, what directs this pattern, that we are calling as Koorma Nadi. If you have some mastery over that, you become an amphibious creature. That is, you are rooted in the physical, but you can venture out. If this much freedom arises in human life, suddenly you know there is another possibility, that there is something beyond physical nature. Whatever you're going through within this physical cocoon is not everything, you know a completely different dimension of life. If this one thing you know, if you have a moment of experience beyond your physicality, death is not an issue, isn't it? If you know life beyond your physical body right now, death is not an issue. Death is a big issue because you know nothing beyond the body. When they threaten to take it away, there is terror in people simply because everything that you know is going away. If you knew something beyond the body, suddenly this would not be such a big problem. And it is not a problem. It is a solution for all our problems that we are mortal. If you are here, let's say next million years you're not going to go, that is a problem, isn't it? We must live our span and we must go, that's a good thing.